spreading the news.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
New York, I love you. I love New York.
Trying to get open, fires away. Bang! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer! Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James! LeBron James with the rejection. Puts up the three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang!
Man. What 12 hours, right? 12 hours span, 16 hours span we have had in the league. What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Off the Ball podcast with me, your host, Chris LeBron. I got my guys in the building, my co-host of the Get a Bucket podcast, Kev Luke, and my guy, Mo Murphy, host of the UpnFlamez podcast, and Believe Mavs. And Mo, man, you host the Believe Mavs podcast on the Believe Network. So I hit you up yesterday saying, yo, and you saw this morning what happened because you were asleep. I want to get your initial thoughts because you're in the area too. So you're in the Dallas area, and obviously this is a massive trade. Obviously, if you have not heard, Luka Doncic is going to the Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis. There's a bunch of other parts, but that's the main thing is Luka is no longer in Dallas. He is a part of the Los Angeles Lakers now. So give me your initial thoughts when you first saw the tweet, the text, whatever, when you heard that Luka was going to the Lakers.
Yeah, bro. So I woke up, I get on my phone, bro. I'm checking my phone, check Twitter. I see the Shams tweet, and I'm like, oh, he must have got hacked. I kind of ignore it. Not even checking the rest of my phone. Then, I checked my text messages, and I got my homeboy calling me. You texting me talking about, bro, you got to do a show. I'm like, yo, is Luka a Laker for real? Wait, this is real. Get back on Twitter, bro. Everybody confirming it. I'm like, oh, no, this is okay, me waking up 8 hours later, this is old news. This man, Luka, really is in a Laker uniform, and initial reaction is what the hell happened that Luka gets traded in the middle of the night. Nobody knows. The league was not aware. This is not a rumor of oh, Luka could be available. This is his list of destinations, or he wants out and he only wants to be a Laker. There's 1,000 ways this could have went to where this trade is not a surprise to us. But this is middle of the night. Hey, you know what? Luka for AD, and then we got to make the rest make sense. But that's what everything else is for, is just make the rest make sense. But Luka for Anthony Davis is basically what you did. Now, to me, and what we'll get into is both sides. From a business aspect for the Dallas Mavericks, a cultural aspect for the Dallas Mavericks, there's a bunch of ways you could get into it of why this is unbelievably wrong what you did. But for the basketball perspective, you're looking at how Dallas has been playing since he's been out since Christmas, and they've basically been able to stay afloat. You feel like he gets out of shape. You feel like his body's breaking down. You feel like he doesn't do everything that he needs to do. And so he's coming up to where you might have to pay him 5 years, $360 million. It may be, if the one question to you, and it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks, it's the guy that sits in the seat. Because if you wholeheartedly believe man, based on my investment, I don't think I'm going to get the right ROI, then, hey, man, I'm going to make some moves and maybe I'm selling early, and this could come back and bite them. It very well could. But at the same time, from a basketball perspective, the Dallas Mavericks are still a pretty damn good team. It's just crazy that they make a move for Anthony Davis and Kyrie's not involved. If Kyrie was involved and it was about linking LeBron and Kyrie in the Lakers, and it would be a weird situation, but it would make more sense. But you're talking about Luka. This isn't pairing Luka and Anthony Davis together to try and win a championship and making him the difference. This is giving up Luka for Anthony Davis and still selling to the Dallas Mavericks fan base in the city of Dallas that you're a more serious owner and more committed to winning than Jerry Jones. That's the biggest thing, is somebody in Dallas looks goofier than Jerry Jones right now. Even though I don't hate it as much as everybody else do, I really don't, because of the basketball that I know we're going to get into. But still, right now, for face value, it's like you're trading your franchise player for Anthony Davis, who like 3 years ago, you'd be like, man, he could leave my franchise for the next 5 to 7 years. He's 31 years old and very well could contribute to winning a championship right now. Like, I think he could swing the pendulum and make a difference on a lot of teams. And I think he really will help the Dallas Mavericks make a run. And I like them against a lot of teams in the West. But it's still like you gave up your face of the franchise, a 5-time first-team All-NBA. He's been first-team All-NBA every year but his rookie year. He's been an All-Star every year but his rookie year. He just took the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals last year. Like, he's been to 2 Western Conference Finals. Like, he's done everything but won a championship, and he's only 25 years old, and you traded him. Like, I think that's where everybody's confused, is like, it doesn't matter what basketball move you made. If you weren't trading Luka for Giannis or Jokic, then nothing will make sense because of how accomplished this dude is, and he's only 25. He's not even in his prime yet. Like, he's about to enter his prime. I feel like 25 to 32 is your, like, 7 best years of basketball where your peak, that determines whether you're a Hall of Famer. And this dude is pretty much a Hall of Famer before he's entered that stage of his career where he even needs to start winning, and now he's a Laker. It's just crazy. Like, it's just crazy. I don't know, man.
It really is. And Kev, what do you think? Obviously, massive, but what do you think? And we've talked about this before. You think this is basketball wise, it makes sense, but let's talk about the other aspect of it, of just the whole, like, Luka he's arguably a top 5 player in the league. Some people might think he's the best player in the league. You know, just took his team to the finals, and, you know, tremendous run. You know, some people thought maybe he'd be the MVP frontrunner this season, and obviously that's not going to be the case because he was hurt. But what do you think the ramifications are for Dallas, just culturally? Because obviously, yes, they still are a really good team on paper right now, but Luka just brought so much energy to that team, and just the amount of things. I know people, he's out of shape, blah blah. The dude was averaging damn near a triple double every night. Like, he was a bucket. You know, let's keep it real. Like, he was still producing, and he was out of shape. If I was that, I wish I was that out of shape where I could still give dudes 30, 10, and 10 on a nightly basis. You know, but what do you think as far as culturally and just the impact? Because you see fans. They had a whole thing outside the building. Like, there's people that are, like, hurt right now. So on that basis, what do you think about that aspect?
Like Mo said, bro, he's not even 20, or he's about to turn 26. So
this isn't. I can't recall a time where we've traded a guy of this caliber. We've seen LeBron leave, KD leave in their prime, and those were massive, but they weren't traded. You know, like in the middle of the season. You know, and you know, in that, you know, smack middle in their 20s. You know, this is unprecedented.
It coming, like, in a sense,
yes, we didn't see it coming at all. We knew LeBron was leaving. We knew KD could dip. You know, but like, there's literally, we did not hear it. Like, we knew Jimmy and Fox were the
that's
two.
what I'm saying. At least would have hurt. Like, Jimmy and Fox was well known that even if this was a groundbreaking De'Aaron Fox trade that shakes up the NBA, you saw it coming, because now it's a bunch of teams trying to get involved, whatever it may be. Jimmy Butler getting traded to Phoenix or Golden State or whatever it may be, you're not surprised because of how it's been the past month. But, like, when guys of this caliber get traded, it's like the whispers start. Like, if Giannis, even if this was Giannis, it'd be like, damn, I can't believe it. It seemed like they had some things figured out and got to rolling. But we've heard before that, like, Giannis could have his eyes elsewhere. We ain't hear nothing really about Luka. People were just projecting that, like,
maybe 3 years down the line, but not like now.
Never entertained leaving Dallas. Like, that's the thing that's crazy about it, is like, he hasn't showed the slightest hint of, like, I want out of Dallas. He's been here, and the thing about Dallas is they're really attached to superstars, especially when you talk about basketball, because really in Dallas Mavericks, you got Dirk. Like, you got Dirk, who stayed there his entire career. And so it was like the Dirk to Luka was the passing the torch of the overseas guy coming to Dallas and basically going to be the savior, going to be the franchise, going to be the face of the franchise until he decides to call it quits. Like, that was the plan. I think that was always the plan for the Mavericks. I think that was the plan for Luka. And like, obviously, when you first get there, you really have no idea. You're just excited to be in the NBA and you start to figure it out. But like, then you're in a Western Conference Finals and you're winning and you're one of the best players in the league and you can take a team to the NBA Finals and now you're like, oh, I might can do this in Dallas. And like, you got plenty of love. Everybody loves you when you're winning. Like, so obviously you got plenty of love. You've been a top 3 player in the league for the past 3 to 4 years. Like, you've had one of the greatest starts to a career, like since LeBron James, and one of the greatest starts to a career in NBA history. Like, everything is said, like, he could do it in Dallas. And maybe if he only gets one, but he stays there and becomes a Dallas legend, like, you'll still be a Hall of Famer, first ballot, is no question. Like, you could be the Dirk Nowitzki, maybe with, a lot better, maybe better in the all-time list, and maybe a couple more championships. But it seemed like he really could do it in Dallas, and it never seemed like there was a break in the partnership of like Dallas or Luka had plans, had other plans. It didn't seem like they had different plans. It seemed like everybody was on the same page. I know the city of Dallas, like, that's why I'm mad it was Saturday night and not Sunday night. I can't wait to go to work and talk to all the Dallas Mavericks fans and people that I work with to really like, because I really like the people from the city. I want to hear their opinion. Like, I'm living here, but I can't wait to talk to the people that's like, bro, I'm a Mavs fan. I love Luka. I can't believe this. There's no way unless you, because I know what it's going to be. Like, they're still in shock. And then, when you talk about a lot of fans, they're not worried about the basketball aspect right now, especially when you're talking about a beloved superstar like Luka. Like, bro, we cared about Luka. It's deeper than, oh, this might get us closer to winning, or nobody's going to see it right now, especially until it started being played for a 10 to 15 game stretch and look successful with Kyrie and Anthony Davis. All everybody's thinking about is their attachment to their beloved superstar that's supposed to be the face of the franchise for the next 15 to 20 years.
So that's my thing, is like, he was what you said. He was literally supposed to be Dirk reincarnated. He was supposed to be greater than Dirk down there.
Bro. Like,
and for them to just go out there and just be like,
being the greatest Dallas Maverick. He was,
and so it's like he was supposed to take that mantle and run off with it and double up on it. And the fact that he just randomly gets traded out to blue, especially to the Lakers of all places, and Nico Harrison only approaches Rob Pelinka. Of course, he was a Nike executive and Rob was a player agent, so like the connections are there, right? In relationships, that's what it is in the NBA. It's all relationship dynamics. Everybody knows everybody. That's why Jimmy's trying to go to the Suns right now. So it's like, from that standpoint, yes, Mavericks fans are probably like in utter shock and disbelief. They have no idea what's going on right now. Most of them are not even gonna be able to fully comprehend it until Luka is in a Laker jersey.
Yeah,
it even sounds crazy to say.
Does he still wear 77? Like, does he still wear the same number in the Lakers uniform? Or
I think they already announced it.
I was gonna say, does he try and go a little more iconic and go like a lower number and be great in the Lakers? Just 77 is crazy in the Lakers uniform. I'm not gonna lie.
But that's what I'm about to say too. That purple Lakers jersey is going crazy.
That Luka. He just, you know what I'm saying? The price of Luka just went up because not only is everybody got like the Luka Doncic Dallas jerseys, but like all of them same fans, he about to, you know what I'm saying? You about to double that up and get the purple and gold, like the iconic, and you're gonna get the purple and gold, the gold and purple. You're gonna get the city edition jersey. Everybody, like, this is just,
that's gonna be the number one selling jersey by next year.
Luka's gonna drop some shoes, and I'm telling you, watch. Come
he has his own line too. I forgot.
You're about to see Luka come
Jordan brand, right?
He's Jordan brand, bro. And you're gonna come AAU season, bro. You're gonna see people in them Laker color Lukas, and like, it's gonna make sense just for hooping, but like, please don't rock them. Like, I don't want to see that. But I'm just saying though, like, it's gonna come. He's gonna have a colorway. You're gonna see him in the Nike store. Like, the price of Luka just went up. Like, Luka is in LA, bro. The LA Lakers, Luka, like, it just sounds
the premier franchise in basketball.
Played in heaven. Like, when you're just talking about if I can match a superstar in a city, and like, I know he's foreign, so it'd be like maybe we get somebody with a little more personality, but like, Kobe wasn't all personality, he was all ball. Like, Shaq was the personality. Yes, LeBron comes and he's personality, but like, Anthony Davis being an MVP level player was just like, it was all ball, nothing really off the court. Luka can be that guy, and we're talking about he's 25 years old. Like, when you did this saying this is for the future, it's because you know you are the LA Lakers, and donning the purple and gold will mean something, and having Luka in LA will be so easy to attract the next unhappy superstar that would fit alongside Luka Doncic. And I'm telling people in 2 years, I really think it's Nikola Jokic, but that's for another conversation.
It's gonna be him or Giannis, and that's what I'm about to lead into too. It's like people gotta understand. I know NBA fans get mad at this, but the small market and major market thing is a real thing, bro. Like, no matter what people say.
Thank you, Kev, please. It matters, still, man. It matters, bro. Look how massive this is. Luka going to the Lakers, and Dallas is a nice big. It's a good market, right? Well, you know, it's a good market.
It's a good market, but it ain't.
But it's not LA or New York. It's not LA or New York. Like it's still like a
Cowboy city. Like it's really Dallas is the market. It is the Cowboys.
Cowboys have made that a big market, but like we've seen the Mavericks, they don't get free agents. They had to draft there. Like they had to go draft Dirk. They had to draft Luka. They had to get their guys that way. You know, Dallas has made
Arians and Tyson Chandlers and Jason.
They got to get their Kyrie, but like
you finesse your way into Kyrie.
Matter. Guys still want to play in big markets, and that's why I think what this did is just open the floodgates because like I said. We all thought, right, when we do all our shows or just talk to whoever, we're like, all right, you know, everyone's going to ask you, especially y'all Heat fans, well, yo, where do you think Jimmy's going? Oh, you know, De'Aaron Fox, what's up with him? We didn't know that there was even like a hint that Luka was even available.
Chris, you know, that a whole show yesterday on trades talks.
And that wasn't even on our radar.
We
like a down the line pod, like, yo, rumors. Years.
Yeah, you know? We the biggest rumors, like some of the ones that seemed unbelievable. Like we talked about the Lakers and they would win the trade if like the rumored 4-team trade with them, Brooklyn and Atlanta, in like Indiana lands them Bogdanovich and Miles Turner. Like that was my take on how the Lakers could win the trade.
We're talking about those things for LA,
yeah. And I'm like, it makes sense. It seems realistic. Maybe the Lakers will have to come off of something that they weren't thinking about, but like they really could make some shake and be a competitive team for the, you know, at least for the rest of the season and have an opportunity of contending for a championship. Not like, oh, they're gonna land Luka Doncic and how many other moves are they gonna make? Like, I think now to me, the one thing that I do think is I think this makes like I'd be surprised if the Lakers don't land one of Miles Turner or Clint Capella by the end of the trade deadline. Like I feel like they're gonna position themselves to go get Miles Turner, but like they're gonna shoot high, and if they land low, they're like Capella.
Clint might be a little bit cheaper, and I think he'll
be cheaper, and he's coming, and you know he's coming. Like he'll be a free agent, so like it would open up some money. But I think like while trying to compete, like if you're gonna have Luka and LeBron, like you're at the end of the day, I can't feel like I don't have an opportunity to win a championship when I still got LeBron James playing at a high level. I still got the guy who just led his team alongside Kyrie Irving to the NBA Finals last year. Like if I could fix the big man problem and replace Anthony Davis with Miles Turner, yes, it is a downgrade. No, he does not replace what Anthony Davis could do for the franchise, like for your team. But it fills the hole while you also added Luka Doncic. Like that's the thing is you added Luka, so you got to fill some of the holes that you can. I think they look for a shooter, and I think another name that would be possible would be Walker Kessler. Like if they don't land one of those three guys, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, but Danny Ainge is
he's thinking he's holding Walker Kessler like he's Luka Doncic.
Let's be real, Knicks fan in the room is just upset he's not a Knick. Nah, I'm not upset. I'm cool. I don't think like I'm not mad he's not a Knick. Trust me, I have enough reasons to be mad, be the Knicks fan. So,
but we have like to be honest, we haven't even mentioned the Knicks in this like.
No, this wasn't we didn't know this was Mo. We didn't know this is a real thing. Like I didn't. No. If we would have known that Luka was on the market 2 weeks ago or whatever, or before the season, then I'd be mad that we had made because everyone's talking about the Mikal Bridges. We gave all these picks. Maybe we could have, but we didn't know.
That's real. That's when the scenario like. But the crazy thing is, and what he did say is they now have their future star. And like that's the thing that's crazy about all this is because the Lakers were kind of in limbo of like they want to be in on a lot of these players like a De'Aaron Fox, and we know they don't have enough to trade for him. But like, who are we going to pair with Anthony Davis that's going to be able to keep us to play winning basketball after LeBron James leaves? Instead, you find your next superstar, like the same situation that you thought you were about to be in when Kobe left. And for those 2 years after, basically Kobe retired, rest in peace, Kobe. But after Kobe retired and then LeBron goes to LA, like, we got our next superstar. So now while you're wondering, like, who's going to carry the torch of being the superstar in LA, it's now Luka, who's 25 years old. Like, even if he is out of shape and has a bad diet and likes to enjoy beer and hookah after winning a playoff game and winning playoff series, this is one of the 3 best players in the league, bro. Period. Bar none.
How do the Lakers keep doing this, though? No, Kev. How do the Lakers always get the guy? They started off getting, it goes back decades, right? We're talking about, when they got Wilt in the 60s, getting Kareem, then getting Magic, and then like getting, then Shaq, and then Kobe, and then it's Gasol, and then there's LeBron, and then now it's Luka. The Lakers always, because we all know the Lakers can't afford, like, they went through that little rebuild right after Kobe, right? They had them years, and then they started with Lonzo and Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, all them boys, and they were like, nah, like, this is cool, but we're not the Pelicans or any other like small market team that's allowed to rebuild like that. We got to know. We got to hit. We get LeBron. No, we got to trade all these young boys and go get AD. Like, we have to do it. So they have to prepare for that.
You want me to tell you who they got to thank? I'm going to tell you like this. The Los Angeles Lakers got to thank 3 things. They got to thank the beaches. They got to thank the Bloods and Crips in the neighborhoods. And they got to thank they Vatos. And I'm going to tell you why. Because back in the day, before LA became like the premier dream city, all of those cats could have decided that we love football. And then LA becomes a football market. But you know what their dreams
were? Not a football market.
Go to USC and hoop. And what they lucky is the guys that were making all the rappers, the Bloods and Crips, and that was making LA hot, could hoop in the neighborhood, bro. You couldn't just play pickup football. So they all loved basketball, and then they all loved baseball, and that's what turned the city fandom. Because we wonder, how come the Lakers can do it? How come the Dodgers can do it? But the LA Kings don't do it. The LA Rams, they did win a Super Bowl. They made a trade for Matt Stafford, but it's not like free agents are just, I want to play for the Rams or the Chargers to go play in LA. It's because the city of LA cares about they care about their Lakers, and they cared about their Dodgers. And so they made the priority of where they're going to put their money in the city as, and donning that purple and gold. They better thank the rappers for loving the Lakers and the Dodgers and wearing their gear. And that's why they're going to forever get superstars, bro, because the culture created LA to be a mecca of like Hollywood. Hollywood influenced it, but basketball and stuff is more of an urban culture. So if the urban culture didn't embrace basketball and love the Lakers, then they're not landing them in this sport like that. But because they did, that's why they're able to get all these superstars. And it, obviously, one superstar can make the difference, unlike football. Like,
that's how we're gonna go.
It's guaranteed. Like, I got a star wide receiver, and now I'm winning the Super Bowl. But I got a star like Luka Doncic. Now I got a shot at winning the championship year in and year out. As long as he's here, I got a shot at winning the championship year in and year out.
Bro, no, because think about that, though. Think about that, right?
Kev, let me say one more thing before you go.
Go ahead.
Just think about it. Everybody complains about Luka's and his conditioning and all that. Who's the guy on the team that is we talk about the most, who's in the best condition athlete maybe ever? LeBron. He gonna put that boy in shape. He's gonna put him with the right people to get in shape too. So
he's gonna give him some gyms on his way out. Here you
go. He's gonna give him some gyms, so he gonna be, and the motivation that he got traded. Like I talked to Sid Kev, like, yo, he got traded as if he was like an 8th man on the team. Like, yo, you out. Like they said, no, you out, you fat. Essentially, you fat. You fat. You know, they everything, on the way out after a good relationship. Imagine 7 years of a beautiful relationship, and then like just out of the blue, you just get called, yo, you fat, get out of here. You out. You're not worth my time for the next 4 years, you know. So that I think that's motivated Luka's gonna be in shape. Man, that's gonna be scary. Go, Kev.
That's what I'm about to say. You gotta think. LeBron got here in what? 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So in a few year time span, bro, you literally went from Kobe, RIP, LeBron, and now Luka.
Mm-hmm.
that alone sells itself. And we're not even talking. We can go way back. You can make a case Magic was one of the most influential athletes of all time too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that alone is going to benefit the Lakers, bro. Just that alone, on top of they all won championships for the most part, outside obviously Luka so far or yet. So it's like, yeah, exactly. So it's like, bro, you literally have sold everything. That's going to make every generation want to play essentially for the Lakers. Jason Tatum said he wanted to play for the Lakers.
Tatum wants to be, he wants to be.
So it's like that's just what it is, bro. Again, you literally went back to back with Kobe, Bron, Luka, and not even a decade time span, damn near. So it's like
nobody can say that. Who can?
Nobody can say that.
No franchise that can say, yo, they went from the best player to the best player to the best player, like, or at least top 3 players in.
And the most skipped was 2 years. You skipped 2 years from the retirement of Kobe to the summer of landing LeBron. Yeah. And now you don't even have to wait to figure out who your next superstar is, because I still got LeBron James on this roster playing at a superstar level, while also we know this is a passing of the torch of the LeBron era of the Lakers to the Luka era of the Lakers. Like, wow, they're going to be able to at least play the rest of this year and next year together too. Like, that's the thing. They are going to play 2 years together. I don't think LeBron's going to like announce now that like all of a sudden, yeah, this going to be my farewell tour on the back end. But at this point, I don't know what to expect. The NBA is becoming a movie more than like a professional sports league. You can't ever predict it. Like, this is a TV series live and in action. But I just, it's LA though. Like, it's just, bro, at the end of the day, we could say like, LA isn't what it used to be. And I don't think it's as iconic as it used to be, as far as like the dream, no matter where you were from, was like, I want to make it and move to LA. I don't know if that's the same thing, but when it comes to sports, being in LA, being near Hollywood, being in that market, that still matters. Making $300-some million. I know the tax level is different, but it's worth all of that with all the extra money, because Hollywood is still a mecca on the West Coast and still runs pretty much the world.
Well, you know what, bro? There's no more cake. There's no more cake.
Talk about that?
Him picking up the cake put him in LA. Him picking up the cake, he took a team to the finals. I don't think a carrot was going to make the difference of him beating the Boston Celtics last year. Like, I don't think his body shape was going to be the difference of him, So, I mean, like, but I don't know. I feel like the overweight thing is overblown. Like,
we have to address it, though, just because Nico Harrison himself mentioned it.
He said it, yeah.
Like, and that's my thing. It's like, again, everybody's going to question the Mavs for a minute now, rightfully so. But Nico Harrison clearly sees something that we don't see every day because we're not there behind the walls with them. But for him to make a move like that, again, the money, as we mentioned, it was what, $345 million for the Supermax. That's a lot of bread. But
that is a lot of bread.
At the same time, this is one of the most entertaining players in the league, bar none. Right. And so you're trading him, like Mo said, before he gets into his quote unquote peak. But that's where I got a question, is like, what are the chances that we've seen Luka already play his best basketball? Like, what are the chances Luka's already been his prime? Because people, this is the thing too, before y'all answer that. People have to stop viewing Luka as a 7-year NBA vet and realize he's been a 13-year professional basketball player vet too. Yeah. You feel me? We got to let go of that narrative that he's just it's not even a narrative, but he's been a pro for a long time. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised one day if Luka turns like 30, 31 and just leaves the game. And it's like, cool. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying I think based on Nico Harrison's thinking, it's something deeper there that I don't think it's just money. Because if it was money related, I think the entire Mavs front office and everybody involved would be like, bro, give him the deal. He's already given us everything.
He's probably worth more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so the fact that they're just like, hey, we're going to hit the Lakers up. They're going to take you. We're going to get rid of you. We're going to get AD in exchange for that. And we feel like we can still contend, which I still think they will. But just like, we have to really process this from Nico Harrison's perspective, because there's something real here.
But but hear me out on this though. You don't think, like, do you think if they put Luka out there available to the rest of the league, that this is the best they can get? Now, and I know we're gonna get into the basketball because we do have to talk about like how this finna look for the Mavericks when they are fully healthy, how good this Mavericks team really can be if you just like, hey, let's get rid of the Luka stuff and let's talk ball. But you didn't put Luka out there available to be had for the rest of the league. They would have gotten in a full-blown bidding war. And if Anthony Davis is still like after all of that, that's still the best thing that you wanted. And they said he's wanted them for like 2 years. But like, if you assess the situation and this is still the deal that you want to do, then I'm not mad at him. Like, because from a basketball perspective, this makes a lot of sense. And if we start to hear about the deals that were out there, we'll be like, nah, when you still trying to win, you still got Kyrie Irving. Like, I get what you're doing. So I fully understand why AD is in a Mavericks uniform. Like, it makes all the sense in the world for basketball. I'm just wondering, like, if you could just get AD on a fluky conversation when LA came to Dallas and played ball and it was just a joking hypothetical, then what do you think you could have made shake with like, oh, this seems real if you would have just let every GM know, even on the slide and owner know Luka is available? Like, hey, I got Luka available. Send me your best offer. I'm going to privately call y'all. But I'm telling you Luka's available. I don't even think this is the best offer you could get.
So how many players you think right now would say, how many teams would say no to Luka right now? The Spurs, right? They would say no to Wemby, right? Like if we're talking about, all right, you want our best player.
The Spurs would say no. Said no because Dallas called San Antonio first. So they said no. I think Boston says no with Jason Tatum.
But what about Jaylen Brown? But why don't you?
I ain't gonna lie.
What about Jaylen Brown though?
No,
but that's the part of it though too is that
I'm with you. I don't think Boston says yes though. I'm with you on this. A combo for like basketball, like real ooh. But if the Mavs had called Boston, I think we're not trading. We're not because there's got to be a reason us trying to get Tatum from us. Like I think OKC. I think they shut down Shea. I don't know if
Wemby, no. You think Tatum, no?
I'm 50-50 on that because that's my thing. We have to think, bro. We can't keep talking like Anthony Davis is a scrub.
No.
Anthony Davis is elite. Like, so that's what I'm saying. It's like we can.
He's a scrub because I think on the basketball sense, Dallas finna wreck shit. Like I really do. Like
I'm just saying in the grand
scheme. Derek Lively though, they could flip Derek Lively though, because now you have a bunch of bigs. Gafford, like Lively could be because Lively probably gives you the most. He can get you the biggest return.
I don't think
rookie deal.
But I think where Kev finna go is I don't think you really get better than Anthony Davis in return.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like
you can name me Chet all the first round picks you want. Like nobody you're gonna get back in return is gonna be
saying that AD you think was going to be the best return they would get in the market realistically.
Yes.
I think so when you talk about players.
Okay, I could understand that. Yeah, that makes sense. If that's their thought process, like we think realistically, the best we can get right now is Anthony Davis, who's still right now, what is he, top 10 to 12 player in the NBA right now? Like
he's been hooping
defense.
He's been playing MVP level basketball before his stomach started hurting. He's good, bro. Like, trust me, Anthony Davis, good. Like, and I get it though. He would be the best player. Like, unless like when you're talking about like, especially when trying to make sense alongside Kyrie too, because like Nico's factoring the fact I got Kyrie Irving, I got Klay Thompson, I got PJ Washington, I got like he's going down his roster and it's like, what player, if I'm gonna sell myself on trading Luka, can help me compete that I realistically could grab? The only conversation I had was for Anthony Davis that I know if I pick up this phone, I can call Pelinka and we can entertain it. I know it's an entertainable conversation. Realistically, unless you're getting Giannis, Jokic, you ain't really getting a player that's better than Anthony Davis right now. Because even if we talk about Anthony Edwards, Anthony Edwards alongside Kyrie, it'd be disgusting for the culture. We love that 1-2 punch. It'd be great for 2K. It'd be great for the streets. But it wouldn't, like for basketball and trying to win a championship, it wouldn't do it. But adding Anthony Davis, putting him at the 4 with you got 2 centers, a starting center and a backup center. AD never has to play the 5. You could go big lineup and have PJ Washington at the 3, who in certain series and against certain teams, he turns into one of the most lethal 3-point shooters in the league. You got Klay Thompson, who I don't care what type of slump he goes through. This is still one of the greatest shooters we've ever seen. And when it's time to turn it on, and if Klay Thompson turns it on, it gets dangerous. Kyrie Irving arguably is the most dangerous man with the ball in his hands to try and get a bucket. I don't care about playmaking for others. I don't care if he makes other shooters better. You put the ball in his hands and say, go get a bucket. There may never have been a player more dangerous to be able to make it happen than Kyrie Irving. And he's still at that level. Kyrie could go get you 30 in his sleep if he feels like it. Like, he's still playing at that level, and it's just the hate that Kyrie Irving has received. So, like, from a basketball standpoint, their biggest problem against Boston, they ran through everybody. Their biggest problem against Boston was size and defense. We couldn't control the paint. When Jason Tatum, Luka was a turnstile, and there was really, you're dependent on a rookie to turn away a seasoned Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown from going to the bucket.
He wasn't ready for that now.
Now I got Anthony Davis down there with guys that play defense. I got Najee Marshall. Guys play defense, bro. Like, Luka was food defensively, especially in that Boston series. And even if it was because of injury, because he was playing decent defense throughout the playoffs, because they were playing defense. But when Boston brought you to the outside and made everybody have to play one-on-one, and you couldn't take a chance of playing help, Luka became a turnstile. And you were depending on a rookie center to turn away those guys from attacking the rim. Now you have Anthony Davis down there, who doesn't just turn you away, but he alters your entire game plan offensively because he's down there, and he's the 4. You have to see AD and Gafford. You got to see AD and Lively. Like, from a defensive standpoint, Klay can still play good perimeter defense. He doesn't have to be the great perimeter defender that we once knew. He still plays good perimeter defense. Najee Marshall still is a really good defender. PJ Washington, when he's hitting shots, he's one of those guys, when he's hitting shots, he's a really good defender because he's fully engaged in the game.
Quentin Grimes.
Quentin Grimes has been knocking them down. And so when you're talking about dribble drive and pick and roll game with 2-3 shooters on the floor with Kyrie and AD, it gets dangerous. Like,
they got Max Christie too. They got Max Christie. That's
my boy. Team gets dangerous. So don't get held up on the Luka Doncic part so much that you think, oh, the Mavs just threw away their chance of winning anything. They made it to the finals. AD has won a championship. He's been to a Western Conference Finals. He's played on teams. He's played alongside arguably one of the greatest players to ever play the game in LeBron James. He knows what it takes. He's playing alongside Kyrie Irving, one of the most talented players with the ball in his hands. Like, as long as they're healthy, I don't think there's too much to question for this team. And who on the West do you just love to beat the Dallas Mavericks? I think it's still, I said I wouldn't be surprised if they would be in the Western Conference Finals. And that's because I still think they're beating every team in their way outside of OKC. And I'm not saying if they get there, they can't beat OKC. I'm just saying I think that'll be the matchup that'll justify how right Nico Harrison felt like he was. Like, if they play OKC and it works and they get to the NBA Finals and maybe they win, and I'm not saying they win the championship, but this team, if they were back in the NBA Finals, bro, because they're healthy and rocking and rolling, I wouldn't be surprised. This team is very talented, and they can make a move.
But they have to – they're right now they're 3.5 – because they just lost by 40 today, so that doesn't help. But they're 3.5 games behind Clippers for the 6th seed. Right now they're the 9th seed, so the Suns and Timberwolves are ahead of them. So the chemistry is going to be a thing. So they got to figure it out. They got to figure that out. And like I said, we still got some time, but you know,
man, that's easy work though. This a pick and roll offense with shooters that you about to. This Jason, I'm gonna tell you like this. People can say what they want about a coach, him as a coach, and blah blah blah. Jason Kidd though is one of the greatest point guards. He is one of the greatest passers of the ball. He's had one of the greatest IQs we've ever seen. If you don't think, even if he's surprised with the Luka and he doesn't love it, if you don't think he's licking his chops at the fact of Kyrie and AD in a pick and roll offense with Quentin Grimes, PJ Washington, they trying to get Derek Lively to shoot a little bit from the outside, Najee Marshall, Klay Thompson. I got all these guys that drive and dish you off a pick and roll, and we know how dangerous just a pick and roll offense with Anthony Davis and Kyrie is. Just them two alone, that's a dangerous offense in a pick and roll. And now I got deadly shooters shooting 40+% from the three. I got 3 or 4 of those guys in my arsenal. And I got a young shooter in Max Christie that I'm implementing. And I still got a Jaden Hardy that I could turn into a scorer. So I think they're going to make another move. I wouldn't be surprised if they add something else that makes more sense and they give up a little bit of depth. But like, bro, the Mavericks, when you really start, look, I named 10 guys. You need an 8-man rotation, an elite 8-man rotation to be a championship contender. I named 10 guys. They can flip 2 to 3 of those guys for a more impactful guy that can play ball right now. And it could go crazy. And call me crazy, but man, I wouldn't even be surprised if they call Milwaukee. Hey, Chris Middleton will make a little bit of sense for one playoff run this year on an expiring contract alongside Kyrie.
No. You don't need another beat up dude. You don't need another older beat up. They got plenty of those dudes on their team that are already injury prone. You don't need another injury prone guy.
No, but see, this is my 2 things, right? One, Nico Harrison unintentionally said that either I don't like to be the dude that assumes, but either way, he unintentionally said that he felt like either Kyrie was their best player in the playoffs last year by doing this, or that Kyrie was the leader of the team last year as they went to the NBA Finals. And then 2, bro, we need to give Anthony Davis his flowers, bro. Because Anthony Davis is one of the few dudes that legit has reached and overcome his ceiling and his potential. And most guys don't do that. We always talk about potential and all these players. The average basketball player has never reached their potential, bro. Anthony Davis surpassed that. He won a national championship. He won a gold medal fresh off that national championship, and he has an NBA championship right now, and he should have more defensive player of the years.
And he just won another gold medal. He got 2 gold medals.
Exactly.
He's got at least 2 defensive player of the years that I could think of.
And that's the thing is like, I think in Dallas they're going to appreciate him more because the expectations out here with the Lakers are sky high significant, right? Yeah, exactly. So he's going to go with LeBron James.
So you know you don't get credit when you play with LeBron James and you're a Laker.
Exactly. So I guarantee you it's going to be a switch in the appreciation of him.
AD was arguably their best player and could have won Finals MVP if it wasn't for LeBron secured it in that Game 6 performance. And I think that's why LeBron played the way he did in that Game 6 performance is because he knew like it was up for grabs between him and Anthony Davis. And he didn't want that narrative to be, oh, I brought AD with me and he won the Finals MVP. I've always been that guy to lead the team to a championship. Because Anthony Davis throughout the playoffs was arguably the best player. There's not a knock on LeBron. It's AD was playing some of his best basketball. It was going the way it was supposed to go.
He hit the buzzer beater against against the Nuggets in the conference finals that year.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
His jump shot was elite.
The point in time when he was killing Jokic, he was killing Embiid. You put any of it, bro. He was killing Giannis. Like you put any of those guys in front of me, my numbers was outdoing them when it was mano y mano. He was giving Giannis 35 a night, bro. Like, so it's not like and people talk about Anthony Davis made of glass. Yeah, because right now he has he's got an abdominal strain, blah, blah, blah. That's just, hey, my stomach hurt a little bit. I'm good. I'll sit out a week, take a little break, get refreshed, and get to rolling. We're playing good enough for me to take a break, too. If they were playing bad basketball, I think Anthony Davis is on the floor last night. But they're not, so I'm able to take a break. We're sitting nice. We've afforded ourselves that luxury. But Anthony Davis before, like, 2 weeks ago, I was talking about Anthony Davis was playing MVP level basketball. When we talk about MVPs, we're like, we're going to give it to Shea because right now he is hooping. He rightfully deserves it. OKC is balling. But like when we really get into outside of Shea, like Anthony Davis might have been next on that list as far as a guy who's playing MVP level basketball. Like I just, so to be able to get that in return while trading Luka, like you don't always, the Chat in the 5 first-round picks and all that, yeah, that sounds cool, but, like, what if Chat is never Anthony Davis? Because that's a high ceiling to plan on a guy to be. Like, to say Chat has to be AD, like, that's a 2-time gold medalist, a champ, a first-time first-team All-NBA on multiple occasions, one of the best power forward/centers of his time. So, like, to have to weigh anybody to be that as opposed to I'm getting that I know I'm getting that, I think is where Nico was thinking. Like, and that's why the first call he made, remember the first, like rumored is the first call he made was San Antonio to bring Victor Wembanyama. Like, you know what? I give you Luka for Wemby, and we'll bring Wemby alongside Kyrie Irving, and we'll put Wemby with Gafford and Lively and PJ, and everybody would be like, oh my God, this is going to be the greatest thing. I can't believe Dallas was able to do it. But because it's Anthony Davis and it's like, oh, he's always injured, people are ignoring how great a basketball he's been playing. And like Wemby still isn't championship ready. Anthony Davis is. Now, if you would have got Wemby, I'd say, hey man, you just hit the lottery. You moved them from San Antonio up to North Texas, and you got your superstar for the next 10 to 15 years. But you got Anthony Davis, who is a superstar right now, and can help you win a championship. I don't care what anybody, he can contribute to helping you win a championship, and he fits with Kyrie Irving. He fits alongside Kyrie. I think that's an easy fit. And they have a relationship. They're friends. Like, Kyrie wanted to play with the Lakers. Like, people are talking about bringing Kyrie to the Lakers so Kyrie and AD could take the reins from LeBron, and they'd be a duo for at least 2 to 3 years post-LeBron era while they're trying to find their next superstar and still be able to compete to win a championship. So I don't think that like changes because it's going to happen in the Dallas Mavericks uniform instead of potentially in the Lakers uniform. Because if Kyrie was brought to LA and paired up with Anthony Davis and the Lakers, they'd be talking about how great of a move this is. And if this was the same roster that the Mavericks had, but they had a Lakers uniform on, people would be talking about them being the scariest team in the Western Conference. But because it's in Dallas, they're not going to give AD his right flowers, and it's not going to sell enough to try and sell people on Mavericks being still title contenders with no Luka. So, like, their selling point is gone. So people are going to brush this like this is a major loss for the Dallas Mavericks. But from a basketball perspective, bro, they're going to be able to hoop. I'm telling you. They are going to hoop. I'm telling you.
I still think it's a massive loss. Just for, like we said, like, this was supposed to be your forever player. Like, you were supposed to follow Dirk and this be your guy. Like, there's not a lot of franchises that can go from having a forever player like Dirk to getting, like, not too far away. Like, literally during that, towards the end of it, get your next forever player. Like, that doesn't happen. So I think everything you guys said sounds good and it makes sense. But this is going to be tough. This is tough. You got to, like, the fan base is they got to be sick because this is supposed to be their guy. And like you said, you kind of just traded him just like as if he was just somebody. And it just, I hope for Nico's sense that his vision of what he thinks this team should look like in the next few years comes to fruition. He looks like a genius, and we're all going to be like, he was right. Well, man, that's still a very that's a ballsy move to do this. It's ballsy, and it's I get it, but man, if this goes south, it could be like before Dirk got there. That was nasty, and I'm just saying you don't want it to get that bad. Listen, Dirk, and remember, Cuban's not involved. Like, he's not involved in basketball ops anymore. He kind of let that go. Well, he let Nico take the reign, especially after he sold majority stake. Because he was still involved, but this season Mark has kind of just let that to Nico. I don't know if this happens if Mark. I don't know if Mark does this.
No,
bro. You have to. You got to go with with Nico and then see if this is right. But man, this is a massive risk for Nico because if this doesn't work, hey, Nico ain't never getting a job again. So if this works out, then hey, he looks like a genius. But this is a risk, and like you could lose the fan base. You could lose the fan base, and you lose them. It's a wrap. It's a wrap,
bro. But that's the thing. That comment that was just up there by Scott Talk Sports, right? He said you have to maximize your short window in the stacked West, right?
I got you 100%. No, I get that.
Windows are small. Championship windows are small. So you have to take advantage of that. I think that's one of my biggest issues with a lot of sports fans is they get so caught up in the future. You get way too lost in the future. Dudes wake up feeling different every day. In 3 years, if Wemby just wakes up one day and be like, bro, I can't do this losing stuff no more. I got to get up out of here. Who's going to be surprised?
That now. He's on that now.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. If we were to talk about this 24 hours ago, bro, we would have all said Luka is going to play his entire career in the Mavs jersey. He's never going to leave there. He's going to be there for 25 years. The whole time, the Mavericks don't even want Luka no more.
They didn't.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, bro.
How long do you think that Nico had this thought process? Like, yo, was it the finals? Was the finals like the thing? I think the finals was the moment he was like, we can't beat Boston if we get back again. Like, we don't. So if that's the thing, like that's interesting. If that's where he thought, like, and then had this whole thing, like, and then because Luka has been hurt. He's been hurt since the offseason. So it's like.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, bro, if you have a window, you have to go all in on that window. Think about the perfect example, even though they're a trash organization, the Miami Dolphins. A couple years ago, when they got Tyreek Hill, we were all like, oh, they about to go up in the AFC. They're about to be nice, all this. Now Tyreek don't want to be there. Jalen Ramsey don't want to be there. Sunken shit. So, you know what I'm saying? You have to maximize what you have. If you're the commander, shout out to Cruz. Yes, JD5 is balling his ass off. don't think you're about to just be over there for 10 years and just be running the NFC. You're just about to be in the NFC Championship game every year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's small windows, bro, and you have to take advantage. Miami and Jimmy are the perfect example right now. You got to 2 NBA finals. Did you do everything you feel like y'all could have done in your power to maximize that? I don't think they do personally, because I've heard people around Pat Riley said that they really didn't. And I don't even want to get into that, but I'm just saying, it's like, bro, we got to stop getting so caught up in the future. It sounds nice. It's like when people talk about these draft picks always sound nice until they turn into actual names, because the average franchise in the league doesn't even know how to draft right. We see it every year. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, you have to take full – you have to seize the moment, bro. And that's why I respect Nico Harrison doing this, because he's ultimately saying, I know y'all love this dude. I know he's supposed to be like this. I know he's averaging like 20, 28, 7 and 7, something crazy like that. But I feel like if I get Anthony Davis and I put him next to Kyrie Irving around the rest of this group, that we can still win a championship and our odds might be better. I respect that. I ain't gonna lie, because he said it too. He said it himself. He was like, we always talk about the future. Y'all think about 10 years from now. My future is 3 to 4 years from now, because I could easily get fired. And I'm like, yes, bro, that's what I'm saying. But you have to cash in, bro. That's why I respect, even though the Raptors have been terrible, I still respect Masai Ujiri, bro, because he took a once-in-a-lifetime chance and you cashed in. And even if you don't cash in, at least you tried. At least you swung for the fences. Most GMs don't even do that. So I'm like, bro, I respect Nico Harrison for doing this, because, again, it's crazy. In theory right now, it looks crazy as hell. But like Mo just said, if the Mavericks are going to be right there in the thick of things, maybe not this year because it takes a little bit of time to develop chemistry, but I think the next 2-3 years, the Mavericks going to be right there. And there's no other team that I'm looking at right now. Of course, that could change. That really should scare them. Like, if I'm just being honest. So I like what the Mavericks have done, bro. I love it for LA too. Like, bro, Staples Center is about to be booming. We don't call it crypto. It's still Staples Center. Staples Center is about to be booming. But at the same time, Dallas looks filthy, bro. Like, Kyrie and AD is a hell of a duo, bro. Jason Kidd's about to have a blast, bro.
It's still wild. It's still crazy that this is even a thing. And it just makes you think that, is this like the start of like, yo, teams are just gonna be like, wait, so all you did was call LA and just say, yo, we'll give you like, you bet we're gonna start calling, hey, Boston, you Tatum, like, you know, Giannis might be like, teams might just call Milwaukee and be like, yo, Giannis, like, you just see what happened? What's up with Giannis? Let's make something happen. Let's make something shake. Anthony Edwards, like, it might think like this, because Kev, you're right, and we talk about it all the time. Like, it used to be, the NBA used to be like, all right, you get 5 years to figure things out and build a team, 5-7 years. Man, you may have 2, because we fire people. NBA, you get fired and hired so quick that the turnaround, and there's like, these guys come into the league are like, yo, I want to win now. I'm not trying to waste 7 years and be like, you know, Tracy McGrady or something. And then my career is wasted. And I did all this stuff, and I'm not, now you're out of the league. You're out of the, you know, T-Mac was done by what, 29? You don't want to be that, and then your career is nothing, because like all you did, you won scoring times, but you want to be remembered for playoff runs and stuff. So I think we're going to see more guys. And if you're Anthony Edwards, if I'm Minnesota right now, I'm scared. I'm shook, because you took a risk with trading Towns, right? You take a risk because they don't want to be an apron team. And I think Dallas too, they made this move because they don't want to be an apron team too. I think because then you constricted with a lot of stuff you can do, you know. And like I said, not every owner is. I mean, they got money, but there's not a lot of owners who got like money like they're compared to the other. They don't got their type of money, like Ballmer money or Ishbia money. Like, those owners are different levels. They're willing to. We'll go into luxury. We don't care, because I can make that up. But man, like, it's still crazy. It's insane that we see it. But now this might be a shift that we might see a whole new different mode. We might just see trades that we didn't think were like we just mentioned before. We were thinking about Jimmy Butler and like that's an afterthought now. That's nothing. Jimmy Butler and De'Aaron Fox. I mean, those are obviously really good players. But now we're like, yo, if arguably the best player in the league can get traded, like, is Giannis on the block in a few days? Is there someone else we're not even thinking? We didn't think about Luka. You know, is Jokic going to be boom? He's out. You know, is it Anthony Edwards? Like, you know, is it Jalen? Like, it's really is crazy. But let's talk about the Luka side, and before we get out, let's talk about Luka and how it affects Dallas, because obviously We talked about how it could benefit the benefits now for Dallas, but like let's just talk about how big of a loss it is losing Luka Doncic for Dallas, and like what adjustments everyone's gonna have to make now that Luka's not going to be there. Now they haven't played with him for a few weeks or whatever, for kind of a lot of the season, but now he's not there. He's not coming back. He's no longer on your team. So how does everyone adjust their game, to fit in? And like you guys said, you guys are high on Dallas now. How does everyone fit in now and adjust to Luka not being on the court? Because it's a different game now.
Man, fit is perfect. Business is business. Like, all right, you got smacked by 50. It was a shocking day. All right, cool. Like, now it's back to basketball. Like, at the end of the day, I know Kyrie didn't play. PJ Washington didn't play. Gafford didn't play. So, but now it's back to basketball at some point. And so they're going to have to buy in. And Anthony Davis is going to come off the plane and come into that building. And it's going to hit you like this is real. But it's also going to be Anthony Davis coming into that building, and it's going to hit you, and he's going to step on that practice court, and we're going to be like, oh, shit, like, we still got one of the top 10 players in the league. We obviously know who Kyrie Irving is. You're going to watch them make some magic in practice just off the fact of them being friends and being able to hoop. And you're going to be like, damn, as a player, I can do this because look at them doing this. Like, there's going to be a lot of evaluation of where you can fit. And them shooters, Chris, I'm telling you, every shooter in that gym is ecstatic right now. Klay Thompson is probably, after this loss, on a gun right now. Like, Quentin Grimes is probably on a gun just shooting and shooting and shooting. Because
the pace is going to be a lot faster, though.
You have bigs that can move. Like, even with AD at the 4 and Gafford at the 5, Gafford ain't a guy that can't get up and down the court. He ain't some unathletic bum that you have to slow the game down and run a half-court offense and a half-court defense and not play at fast-paced game in order to get him going. Like, you were running the fast break, lob it up without him. Like, without Luka on the court, Kyrie and them were playing at a faster pace anyway. So now I implement Anthony Davis within this fast-paced game that we were playing, trying to figure it out without Luka, but now it's without Luka, but I implement Anthony Davis. Like, I'm telling you, and they're probably going to make another move, but even with the roster as is right now, bro, that's a damn good team. Like, when you get off the fact that Luka's gone and you're just like Kyrie, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Najee Marshall, Quinn Grimes, Gafford and Lively, PJ Washington, like, you're like, oh, man, that team can make some noise because we loved every move the Dallas Mavericks made while Luka was there. Getting PJ Washington and Gafford and being able to draft Lively, bringing back Spencer Dinwiddie in the offseason for the, like, you loved every move while Luka being there. But now, like, yes, we took away our lovely, legendary superstar that we thought we were going to have an attachment with for the rest of our life. But at the end of the day, even the Mavericks fans had to realize, bro, business is business. Like, even in the world of business, like, yeah, you got attached to Dirk, but that's fairy tale land. Like, even when the Lakers got attached to, like, Kobe, like, you don't really have a superstar that stays there for 20 years. Like, that ends up being fairy tale land. And so Dallas just doesn't have enough superstars in their franchise history to get over it. If the Lakers had traded Luka overnight for Anthony Davis, like, Lakers fans would be like, damn, but, I mean, hey, but if it made sense in a basketball perspective, they'd be like, damn, we got rid of Luka, but, oh, well, like, next superstar incoming. So Dallas just got to, like, Mavs fans got to look at it like that. Like, watch basketball before you just really hate this trade, because I think from a basketball perspective, it's going to look pretty. And I think it's going to look pretty right away. Like, I'm not saying that I think it's going to look good right away. They're going to hit that bump in the road after the first 10 games, and then they're going to find their groove right before the playoffs start. But I think it's going to look pretty right away, especially when you're just talking about the duo of Kyrie and AD. Them two know how to play together. Them two are friends. Them two have talked about playing together previously. If they didn't think it was possible, they would have never entertained the idea. Kyrie Irving even potentially being in a Lakers uniform before he signed that extension with Dallas to play alongside Anthony Davis and LeBron was always the plan, especially the dream of, like, Kyrie and AD. So, like, as a duo, bro, like, what makes this duo any less deadly than Damian Lillard and Giannis? And then I would say Dallas has a better supporting cast than Milwaukee. So I got arguably the best duo in basketball with a better supporting cast than the Milwaukee Bucks. Like, but you'll tell me the Milwaukee Bucks can win the championship, but the Dallas Mavericks can't. Even in the so-called stacked West, the West is not as stacked when you're talking about teams top to bottom. It's stacked with the stars, but top to bottom in depth, I like Dallas's roster over almost any roster in the West, probably outside of OKC. So I don't really see where if you just let the emotion of loving Luka go, like, bro, from a basketball perspective, it's Dallas. And like I said, there's still 4 days until the trade deadline. That's what matters too. There's 4 days until the trade deadline. So you never know they got plenty of depth to make some more moves.
And for the Lakers side, I mean, bro, I see people questioning like who's gonna have to rock more between LeBron and Luka.
Into like how LeBron and Luka, like how that's gonna work.
Bro, Luka is going to be on the ball at 26 years old, and LeBron is going to be off of it more than he's ever been at 40 years old. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how you preserve LeBron. So when you get into a playoff series, you have a fresh LeBron, right? And so especially people aren't even talking about he's back with Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith, his game was maximized playing with Luka in Dallas. So you got that element on top of it. You got JJ Redick, who's probably in the lab right now trying to scheme up how the hell am I about to process having LeBron and Luka on the same roster? He gonna figure it out some way, somehow. But you mentioned, who'd you mention earlier? You mentioned what? Clint Capella and who was the other name?
Miles Turner, or even
Miles Turner.
Yeah.
I seen them talking about they're looking at Nick Claxton right now.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, I seen that being a name too. So, like, they're looking to fill the hole of Anthony. They're not rocking with Jackson Hayes. That's all I'm like. Yeah, and I know no Nick Claxton, Miles Turner, none of those guys are Anthony Davis, but they're just not going to rock with Jackson Hayes at center. Like, they're going to fill the hole at least defensively, because offensively you did get a guy that on the ball is a 30, 10, and 10 on any given night. So, like, but you have to fill that hole defensively. Like, and Luke and Braun are both turnstiles. That's where it gets like, you might have to you might have to get a center that can run, and it might have to be a Miles Turner or Nick Claxton. Miles Turner can stretch the floor and shoot the three, but you might have to get a guy that can play that way, because, like, bro, defensively,
that's what I'm saying. That's why you got Kleber, you got Dorian Finney-Smith, and then you're gonna continue to need more guys like that. The way to succeed in this is, bro, you have to get your stars and build around their weaknesses. And so for them, you see clearly they're going after a defensive-minded big, like Mo just said. Mm-hmm. Then they're probably going to get some more wings that can either shoot at a high level or defend at a high level. And that's the roster right there. You have Bron and Luka, and everybody else plays off of them. And maybe you can have, I guess, Austin Reeves is like that third playmaker. So, like, I think they'll be fine. Rob Pelinka's probably in the lab right now trying to scheme up getting somebody for something. And, it'll be weird for a little bit just because it's like, bro, we're literally about to watch Luka and LeBron on the same floor, on the same team at that. But I think ultimately, like, bro, when you have two supreme playmakers like that, they know how to hoop, bro. They're going to learn how to benefit each other. It's like when people have the same concerns about KD going to Phoenix. Oh, KD's going to take all the touches from D-Book. It's like, no, at the end of the day, these dudes are hoopers, bro. They played in the Olympics. They know how to play team basketball. So I'm really not worried about it. I just want to – I'm more so concerned – not even concerned. I'm more so thinking about – forget LeBron with all due respect. I'm thinking who's going to be the next star that the Lakers pair with Luka for the foreseeable future. That's the star I'm thinking about.
Nikola Jokic to LA in 2027. He's on year 2 of a 5-year deal. So in 2 years, you're looking at whether you want to extend Nikola Jokic or whether he's going to entertain and hit free agency. He'll have that. He'll be entering that player option that 5th year. Luka and Jokic are like best friends. People have talked about, like, what about pairing Nikola Jokic in Dallas? Or what if there was one place Luka ever left Dallas for, it'd be to pair with his friend Nikola Jokic in Denver. Like, those had been hypothetical conversations, but it was like based on their friendship. We see, Kev said it earlier, the NBA especially is all about relationships. And so who's to say, like, and players have the power. And so right now, 2 years from now, I don't see that being any different with player empowerment. So Nikola Jokic could say, you know what? I've done everything I could do in Denver. We're not willing to win anymore. I won out, and I want to go to the Lakers. And with me having a player option, I'm going to ask out before the trade deadline so you can maximize what you could get from the Lakers for me. But I really could just opt out and just sign a whole new deal with the Lakers immediately this summer if you don't abide by my request. Like, he really could do exactly what Anthony Davis did in order to get in the Lakers uniform. Like, we're 2 years away from Nikola Jokic being able to do that same thing. Luka Doncic will be 27 years old. Nikola Jokic will be like 31 years old. You'll have a end of his prime Nikola Jokic. You'll have a prime Luka Doncic that you pair with the Lakers. I really see that being the if I guess, like, especially on a high level, I can see it being Nikola Jokic, especially when you're talking about he would have already given them 8, 9, 10 years of elite MVP level. Thank you, Denver. Now I'm going to chase the big market, chase the championship alongside Luka Doncic on my way out of the league. Like that's why I'm going with Jokic. Like that'll be his last max contract, and then he'll be gone. He's out the league at 35. He rides it off with the Lakers.
He might not play at 35. That boy don't even care about me. You know, this is a part-time job for him. This is
one of
the greatest big men of all time. Dons the purple and gold. Like now, you're talking about a guy who statistically, and let's say he wins another championship. Like you're talking about a 2-time champ. Statistically, like this is a center he's averaged a triple-double. Like basically can average a triple-double on any given night. And now you're talking about donning the same Laker that the Wilt Chamberlain, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, and now Nikola Jokic. Like Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, Paul Gasol. Like, so all of that, and we know that they're surefire Hall of Famers, but it enhances your legacy. Like Paul Gasol wearing that purple and gold and winning a championship, I think makes people view Paul Gasol even a little bit higher than really his career really was. But he donned the purple and gold, he won a championship, and he was a center.
Hall of Famer.
Nikola Jokic, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying Paul wasn't a Hall of Famer, but like, I think you remember him a little differently if he doesn't wear the purple and gold and win that championship. And Jokic would be the same way. Like, he's one of the greatest, but now he wins that purple and gold. He wins the championship there, and he puts up crazy stats. Like, is this dude the greatest center of all time? All because, like, wearing that purple and gold will enhance your legacy. Doing it in LA will make it a little more important than what anything you did in Denver. Like, honestly, winning an MVP and winning a championship in LA will put you surefire Hall of Fame and put you in different conversations than doing everything he's done in Denver. And so
let's stop making the Lakers better and everything. Like,
I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm just saying. I think that one makes a lot of sense.
Let's stop adding to the Lakers' success. They didn't have enough, bro. They just got Luka Doncic. It's crazy. It's the NBA is, you know, it's sometimes, you know, there's a lot of people who complain about it, but yesterday's news, I mean, I guess you can call it today's news. It happened early this morning. We're still talking about it. Like, there's games going on and nobody cares. Everybody's just like, yo, like, people are still in disbelief that this even happened. And, you know, it's a massive, it's going to be even more talked about this week. And, you know, I don't know when Luka is going to come back. I know he's still on the shelf. I know the Dallas plays the Tuesday. So I'm sure Anthony Davis will, I'm sure they'll do an introductory press conference probably tomorrow. I would say, and he's ready to suit up Tuesday because, or I don't know. I think he's still out too, so maybe it'll be a little bit longer till we see him. But you know, but at least maybe the end of the week, you know. But it's just gonna feel weird seeing Luka and Braun together, you know, in uniform. But it's crazy time.
Real quick before we go, I do want to say this though, because we've said all this, but we haven't said the genius got his guy that's going to keep him a job and give him a different type of legacy and kickstart his coaching career. And that's JJ Redick, because we know how great of a basketball mind he's been. We've sat there and watched him on a podcast. He breaks that. We know the man knows the game. We know he has potential based on knowledge of the game to be an elite coach. We know how much him breaking down the game and how his philosophy on how he views basketball and being able to win. Luka is a guy that he's focused on very heavy on, a guy that can do that based on his philosophy. Also why probably it's easy for him to take the Lakers job and not only have 10 wins, because I got a guy like LeBron James who fits my philosophy on my style of play, on how I'd like to play. Now I got 25-year-old Luka Doncic that in my mind I'm about to have for at least the next 5 to 7 years. I'm going to keep Luka attached to me in LA for the rest of his prime at the very least, and that's going to make him an elite head coach. You're not going to botch it with Luka Doncic, and with his mind, he's going to figure out some tricks and some things schematically, and he's going to build the type of roster, and I think him and Pelinka are going to have this type of relation. They're going to build the type of roster that it's not going to matter what everybody else thinks. It's going to fit what a mastermind like JJ Redick does, and like, I'm not saying he's Eric Spoelstra, but all I'm saying is like, when Pat Riley gave Eric Spoelstra the reins and let his brain work of how to create a winning culture and coach a basketball team, Eric Spoelstra became, like, he's probably the best coach in basketball right now. I'm not saying JJ Redick could be that, but even if he's one of the 5 to 7 best coaches, because you give him the reign and his basketball mind is there, and you let him get the players that fit his philosophy, which I think that's what he's doing, getting Luka Doncic. Like, I got my superstar of the future, could create a philosophy with a superstar that fits in one of the 3 best players in the league. So I think JJ Redick is the biggest winner of this trade, no matter how we break it down. JJ Redick, head coach of career.
And real quick, to add on to what Mo just said about Luka, bro, he's going to be more motivated than ever because of this trade, bro.
Yeah, bro, like you basically said. Like,
I don't know if you guys saw, he just released a statement on his Instagram, I believe, and kind of just like, yeah, I thought I was going to be a Maverick my whole life, and essentially saying this came out of left field, and that was not discussed. And like I said, like Kev said, this is going to be a motivated Luka with LeBron. It's scary. It's scary because he's learning from his idol. And who do we compare Luka to? Like, we always say, yo, he's like LeBron James. He's not obviously athleticism, but like the vision, the passing, the playmaking, the scoring. We're like, yo, he's LeBron without the athleticism. And guess who he's playing with? LeBron James. So he's going. It's crazy. He could get better. Like Luka could get better from this, you know. And like I said, learn how to, diet properly and all that stuff that Dallas legit said, yo, you're not in shape. We don't think you're gonna hold up in 3 years. We're not gonna give you 350 if we don't think you can hold up. So if Luka goes to the Lakers and LeBron puts him on and he gets slimmer and he's a better, more efficient player, and when it comes down to when you get to the conference finals, when you get to the finals, you're not gassed out like you were last year, and then you get over the top and you win it. That's what I'm saying with Dallas. That's what I'm thinking about with Dallas. Like, if this backfires and that happens, let's say that scenario, and Luka wins a championship and things are just like, that's to say it's a risk. And listen, like Kev said, I'm all for risk in the NBA. I think more GMs and GMs and front office should take more risk. And this might be it. But this also could scare away people from being like, oh man, look what happened with Dallas 2 years ago. And now look what they're at now. So this could really be, obviously it's a game-changing trade, but this can legit change the league going forward. Because now teams are it's just gonna be a different philosophy. Like, yo, we're going all in. Forget that whole, like I said, there's no more 4 or 5. I mean, the Wizards are on like a 30-year rebuild, so that they're different. They should get expelled. But there's like the Rockets. Look what the Rockets. Hey man, the Rockets should be like, no, let's get this. Let's take advantage of this shit right now. Like let's try to win right now. So it's crazy, man. It's still surreal that Luka is going to be playing. I'm looking forward to that first game, whenever that is. It's gonna be interesting to see him and LeBron on the same court together. Going in that Lakers gold. So, but man, it was fun talking to y'all, talking about this. Is obviously a massive deal. There's obviously games going on. I know they just got smacked, Dallas, but hey, nobody's playing. So I mean, it's against the Cavs too. So Cavs are doing. The Lakers. LeBron had a triple-double last night versus New York. Even Bronny scored. People get out on with Bronny, but with the Lakers, it's Kev. And to close out, Kev said something before, and it's not because I live in a big city, and Kev lives in you're the LA area. Mo, you in Dallas. That's it's not LA, New York, but it's close. Like it's one of the being in a big market still matters. Like Kev said, it still matters. I know it's maybe not like it used to be, but Luka's just going to be even bigger than what he is. He was already massive, but he's going to be even bigger. Like that shoe line, his shoe line's going to go like it's going to make more. Like it's something about LA, New York, like those big markets. It still matters. It still matters. Big market matters, and like I'm saying, this could lead to other players being like, hey man, I got to get to one of these coasts, so interesting times in the league. I think a much needed, there's a lot of negativity going on in the NBA, And I think not David Stern, man. Wrong. I don't know how David Stern would feel about this, to be honest. But he probably would have vetoed this. Yeah, he definitely vetoed this. He definitely vetoes this. But Adam Silver, he's taking some heat lately. I think he's like, all right, heat's off me for a little bit. Y'all worry about that. But massive trade. We'll see if there's anything else happening. But the trade deadline's what, the 6th, I believe. So it's in 4 days. Yeah, Thursday. I expect some more moves to be made, and we'll definitely, if anything pops off, we'll definitely get back live and talk about what's going on. But any closing thoughts before we sign off, guys? Mo?
Nah, I'm good. Just follow me at Mo_Chief15. I'm about to really get back into it. Basketball season entering the last week of the season, so I'm ready for a much needed little break. Need a little mental break and get back in the podcasting. But other than that, bro, as always, hey, this a whole weekend, Chris. We got to talk ball, so I ain't ever mad about that.
For sure. Kev, any closing thoughts?
Both teams won the trade. Y'all can follow me at Kev Luke the Great, KevLukethaGreat. Both teams won the trade.
Yeah, both teams. Yeah, Kev. Duke and Michigan State aren't the last 2 teams to have not lost the game since Thanksgiving. Just Duke. So we packed up UNC. So we'll get a bucket in this week, guys. So check that out. Get a bucket podcast this week. We'll talk about everything. A lot of great games happened this weekend. So we'll get into that. But yeah, make sure to follow me Off the Ball Pod. Make sure to subscribe on the Off the Ball Network YouTube and everything. Follow me Off the Ball on every podcast. Every social media platform on that. So on that note, be well, be safe, take care. Peace out.